As a former Disney cast member, I get asked a lot about what my experience was like whenever I worked at Disney in Florida. And one of the first questions I always get is, oh, were you a princess? No, just because you work at Disney does not mean that you are in entertainment. I was in merchandise, which means I worked in the retail gift shops. I started out in Hollywood Studios. I worked at Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror, Fantasmic, Sunset Boulevard, Animation Courtyard, that whole area. And then I worked at the All-Star Resorts in all three shops. So that is where I worked. The next question I always get is, tell us about some of the crazy guest experiences that you had. And wow, I don't know, there's so many. So I'll probably sprinkle some in here and there. But one was a time where some parents came up to me when I was working the merchandise cart in the Rock and Roller Coaster courtyard, and they said, hey, can we leave our kids with you? We want to go ride the ride. And I said, no, we cannot do that. Unfortunately, we do not have any sort of babysitting service at Walt Disney World. I told them about the rider swap, how they can do the one parent can go through the line, and then when they get done, the other parent can go through the Fast Pass line, which is what it was called at the time. And they didn't really like that, and they walked away. And then a few minutes later, I just noticed their kids left alone. And just to kind of specify the ages, one was in a stroller, so 1 to 2-ish, and the other one was probably 4, and they just left them. And so unfortunately that's considered child abandonment, because who knows, there are thousands of people in this park, and you can't just leave your kids unattended. And so we had to call Disney security, and they called the sheriff's office, and those parents, once they got off the ride, had to take a little walk out of the park with security with their kids. So don't ever leave your kids unattended like that when they're small. It's different whenever you have older children, but no, you cannot leave your kids unattended to go ride a ride. That was one crazy one. Another one, believe it or not, was people asking us to turn off the rain. I don't understand how people truly felt or believed that there was a bubble around Disney and that Disney can control the weather. That's not true. So, just so everyone knows, Disney does not control the weather. If it rains, it rains. If it's hot, it's hot. Yeah. But those were a couple of the funny experiences. I'll be glad to share more. So I was a former Disney cast member. Now I am a travel agent, and I help families plan the most perfect and magical vacations. If you need help, please send me a message. I'm happy to help.